When we talk about goal scorers in football, it's hard to look past Lionel Messi. In the 2011-2012 season, he scored 50 goals in La Liga. In all competitions, he scored 73, which is mental. 73 goals is incredible. It's an incredible feat to reach, but is it possible to score 100 goals in a season? So hello, welcome back to the TomFM channel. Hope you're all doing well today. And as you've probably guessed already, today's experiment is all about trying to get a player to score 100 goals in a season. Because of course the target today is 100 goals. I feel like we should have a target of 100 likes, but you guys have been smashing it out of the park recently. I feel like we need to go a lot more ambitious than that. So 1,000 likes on today's video. That's the target. Also, we've just hit the 14,000 subscriber mark, which meant that we gave away a copy of Football Manager 2020 when we hit 14,000 subscribers. We're going to give one copy away at 15,000 subscribers as well. There's a link in the description to get yourself entered into the competition if you want to enter it in time for Christmas. But of course, the quicker you help me get to 15,000 subscribers, the quicker we can give the copy of the game away. So get sharing this video around with all your friends and get them to subscribe to the channel. So we want the striker to score 100 goals in a season. And to do that, the best chance he's got is to play a lot of games. So we need to put them in a league where they play a lot of games in the league and they also enter a lot of cup competitions. So my first thought was my local non-league side, Lincoln United. They play in the 8th tier of English football, which means they play 38 games in the season, which is quite a lot. But on top of that, they're also in the FA Trophy, the FA Vars, the FA Cup, and the Integro Dudson League Cup, which is another cup around there as well. So plenty of fixtures. But then there was kind of a problem with that because whilst we'd put the best player possible up front to score 100 goals, he just wouldn't have the service around him to supply him with all the passes, the assists to get 100 goals in a season, essentially. And also, the league is actually quite competitive at Lincoln United's level, so it just wouldn't work out, it'd be too competitive. So essentially, we need a team who play a lot of games, league and cup, but are the most dominant side in a league which is comparatively weaker. So my second thought was to go for Paris Saint-Germain. They are arguably the best side in that French first division. They've got a very overpowered attack that can provide the assists needed for the player to score 100 goals in a season. The issue is, it's the 4th or 5th best league in all of Europe. Although we've got some fantastic players in there and we could get a really good team around the star striker we want, I do think the defences are just going to be too strong, essentially. Even when you add in the 2 French Cups and the Champions League, I just don't think a striker is going to get to 100 goals in this league. I think the defences are just that a little bit too strong. And so we need to narrow it down again. A league that's not quite as good as the French First Division, but we still got a dominant side with all the teams around them that are disproportionately worse. So sorry, Rangers fans, but we're going to Scotland. Celtic is the team that I have chosen for this experiment. They play a lot of league games. I think they play 36 league games. They're also in 2 cups as well, and they're in the Champions League as well. But they go into an early stage of the qualifying round, so they should win quite a few qualifying rounds. Then they've got the group stages. I think Scotland is the best chance of this. Now, of course, you might not agree with me, and come the end of the episode, the results might not agree with me either. We might not get 100 goals. We don't know what's going to happen. This is the whole point. We're just testing this out to see if it's even possible. But let me know in the comment section which club and which league you would have gone for. Now, the key question, Tom, we need to focus on the striker now, the individual player, and the player we're going to be using is Edouard. Now, as you can see, he's been buffed a little bit because he's got 20 out of 20 for absolutely everything. Of course, we want to try and score 100 goals. We've got to have the best player in the world to do it. And clearly, Edouard has been working out in the gym quite a bit because he's got fantastic attributes. I've even improved all of the hidden attributes. Well, obviously, up to 200 current ability as well, but improved all his attributes here to have like professionalism of 20, sportsmanship of 20, obviously controversy of 1, dirtiness 1, injury proneness 1 to keep him on the pitch as much as possible as well. No red cards, no injury sort of thing. So hopefully, this chap's going to do it. And I feel like the Celtic players around him, I think he's got good enough players around him to provide the assists in a league where the defences aren't quite good enough. You'll also notice as well that he's joining PSG on the 1st of the 7th, 2029, which means we've got 10 seasons to do this experiment. To do this, I went into the pre-game editor and just went on to future transfers for Edouard and put it for 10 years in the future. What it means is he's got a transfer arranged for 10 years in the future, which means that no one else can buy him over those 10 years. So that's kind of the security that is going to be at Celtic for these 10 seasons. Now, obviously, Rangers are doing pretty well in recent years. They can rival Celtic. I suppose Aberdeen can as well. But I think a lot of other sides in this division, defensively, they just don't stack up to the offence of Celtic. Perhaps I'm being harsh on my Scottish Premier League. Perhaps I could have done something else. And again, let me know in the comment section if you think we should have gone somewhere else. But it was just my gut feeling. And I suppose that's kind of it, really. That's kind of it. That's all I've done. Just picked a team, boosted one player up. Importantly, we've also gone to freeze attributes so these don't go down. Because naturally, they would go down. 200 current ability isn't 20 out of 20 to everything. I think if you want to actually have 200 current ability, it's only 16 out of everything. Now, of course, if you want to get access to this and have a go at it yourself, you can find all the data files, all the save files on my Patreon. Link down to that in the description, probably on top of the screen right now as well. But get yourself on there and you can get access to all of this. And if you actually load the game up as it is default with the editor file in there, all of these are 16 out of 20, not 20 out of 20, even though on the pre-game editor, I made it 20 out of 20 to everything. Now, that's because of that current ability thing. I had to go in here manually again and change everything to 20 out of 20 in the in-game editor to actually get it all to work properly. So hopefully, you know, he's 20 out of 20 for everything. He's the best player in the world as far as we're aware. So hopefully 100 goals is incoming. Now, to start things off, I'm going to go on holiday for 5 years. And hopefully in that time, we will see 100 goals scored. But if not, we can do a few things to try and help him out along the way. And so we're back 5 seasons into the future, now in 2024. And hopefully we've seen 100 goals scored by Edouard. So let's go click on him, look at his history, and we're looking at goals in all competitions. So although he's only got 33 goals as his most in a season, you never know, he might have got another 67 goals in cup appearances in the Champions League. Let's click on him and see what's happened with this then. Well, he only got 41 goals that season, 47 appearances, which actually is kind of bad considering how good he actually is. Season before that was 34 goals. And then he had 49 one season. That's the highest we've seen so far. 48 and then 45. So actually, we're nowhere near. I've got to say, actually, his average ratings have been incredible. Absolutely incredible average rating. And I suppose if you take assists into account as well, it obviously moves him a lot closer. But we're not looking at assists. We're looking at pure goals. So having just a good player on his own clearly hasn't worked out for us. So the plan is then, for the next 4 seasons, it's a very small squad for some reason as well. If we sort it by current ability, we can see that we've got Edouard as our best player. But what I've just done as well is I've edited a few other players as well. So they also have 200 current ability. So we've got this guy on the wing. Hopefully, if we get his positions up, hopefully on the wing, he'll now be just solely providing massive assists for this guy. If we start to boost up a few players like this as well, if we make, you know, quite a few players as good as Edouard, hopefully by that point, we'll see 100 goals scored, surely. So I'll go on and do a couple more players as well. Not too many. We don't want to have the whole team as 200 current ability. That kind of defeats the point a little bit, although, I mean, we are making a player 200 current ability in the first place. That kind of defeats the point anyway. But we're looking for 100 goals by any means necessary. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to go 4 years in the future. If it doesn't work by then, I've got one final plan for the final season. And so back 4 years in the future, now in 2028. Now, all the players that we boosted last time around, there's nothing in the in-game editor that allows you to arrange future transfer fees. I've looked, it's just not there. You can't do it with the in-game editor. So I presume after a season, most of those 200 current ability players will have been snapped up by other clubs. So that first season probably would have been the best chance to do it. So if we click on Edouard, his bravery's gone down to 17 for some reason, but everything else is still out of, 20 out of 20. Let's look at his history. Come on, lad. Right. So we saw he got 39 goals that season, all right? The season afterwards, total only 31 goals, then 40, and then 40 again. What's going on here? I'm expecting 100 goals. Why are you not scoring them? I mean, perhaps he's not playing quite as many games as I thought he was going to play. He only played 40 this past season, 43 the season before that, 36 the season before that, 44, 47, 35, 56. The 56 season actually isn't even his best season, to be fair, I don't think. So he started off playing quite a few, 57, 56, but has dropped off in recent years. And perhaps it can only be done if you're the manager and you literally play him every single game, perhaps. I don't know, maybe that's something we can do in the future. But clearly, my plan hadn't worked out. So we've got one final season to get him to score 100 goals before he moves back to PSG. So we need to sort it out. Interestingly, not every single player left that we gave to 200 current ability. Mikey Johnson stayed, which is nice to see, I suppose. I gave them all a £500 million minimum fee release clause to try and make it as hard as possible as well, but clearly some players just have moved. I presume they've not been bought for £500 million. So Scott Guest and James McIntyre, they left to go to Chelsea and Man City respectively. How much were they bought for? James McIntyre was bought for only £53 million. When you consider that he is joint best player in the world, £53 million is not much money at all. And Scott Guest, who went to Chelsea, he was bought for £88 million. So again, nowhere near those £500 million minimum fee release clauses. Obviously, though, we've got the power of the in-game editor. So we're going to move these two back to Celtic for this final season. And then the other plan is to just move everyone else who's good. And then obviously that makes Celtic the best team in Europe, in the world, with all these fantastic players. And surely at that point, they're all providing assists. They're all providing opportunities for him to score. Surely we'll see 100 goals in a season now. So I'm going to move quite a lot of these fantastic players into Celtic right now. And surely this is it. Surely this is how we do it. Right then, the final season. Surely they will have done it by now, Celtic. They've got Pep Guardiola as manager. I also moved Pep Guardiola to be the manager as well. We have to get the best manager in the world, and he's currently top of the Hall of Fame. So we moved Pep Guardiola over as well. The team is stacked. I mean, the worst player in the squad is 114. He was there already. The worst player that I moved over was like 178. I think William Sabila, I moved him over. He was the worst player there. Todibo was already at the squad before I moved him. I couldn't move him, obviously, because he was already at the squad. We've literally got the best team in the world right now. Mbappe's there, you know. We've got Eduard, the best two players in the world. Kai Havertz, he's there as well. Surely we are going to see 100 goals scored this season. Although that unregistered marking there doesn't really fill me with a lot of joy, though I suppose that is because he's moving to PSG this season. Right then, has he done it? Not even close, not even halfway. He only got 39 goals that season. I mean, fair play, he's got 25 assists as well. I suppose he's providing a lot too, but come on. I thought we'd get close. I thought we'd at least get to 75 goals at least one season. But the best season we had, was it this? Which one? Did he get over 51 season? No, he got 40. He didn't even get halfway. He got 49 goals one season. Okay. Well, maybe 100 goals in a season in Football Manager isn't possible. But that's why we're doing these experiments. That's why I'm testing things out to see if these kind of things can happen. But clearly, it just can't. So let me know in the comment section, what would you do? Hey, what would you do? My other thought was to perhaps go for somewhere like Gibraltar, for example, or Andorra. Use one of those leagues. That was my other thought. Perhaps we could do that in the future. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Because surely having a player so good in those divisions, even though all the players around him would be rubbish, he'd still score a bag full of goals. Perhaps that's the way to go, but I just don't think they play enough games in a season. It's so difficult to know. Let me know what you think in the comment section, though. Let me know what you think. Now, in the next few days, there's going to be another video where we're going to try and get a goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet. Not in all competitions, because that's not possible, but I want the goalkeeper to keep a 100% clean sheet record in the league. So that's going to come up later on this week. So look out for that one. Make sure you subscribe with the notification bells turned on so you don't miss it. Hopefully, we'll have a bit more success with that one than we have with this one, but we might try this again with a few more tweaks and suggestions from you guys. So the question was, can a player score 100 goals in Football Manager? And the answer is no, they can't. Even if they are the best player in the world, surrounded by the best players in the world, they can't do it, at least at Celtic. So thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you have done, please do drop a like on the video, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. There's going to be 2 videos for you to watch as well, so you've always got your TomFM fix. We're going to have another experiment up on the screen for you, and the hop to a top save, which I'm doing in Switzerland with grasshoppers right now, which is going really well. I recommend you go and watch that. So I'll see you in one of these 2 videos. Have a good evening. Goodbye.